Good Friday morning. Thank you, Rob. We're moving along right here with our extension program today, the Gardener's Corner. Thank you all for coming out today. Once again, Good Friday. Wonderful. Got a little moisture this week. Things are looking a little better. Wish we had a little more, but it's looking a little better. So a lot of people are thinking about how am I going to get my grass a little greener? Well, my suggestion right now would be just while it's a little bit softer, go out there and get a soil test. Soil tests are wonderful. Right now, they're free all the way up to Thanksgiving. Then after Thanksgiving, they'll go up to $4 a piece. So different plants like different acidities or base. And some react differently with the different types of pH. So if you're looking at, you want blueberries, well, we'll be having a sale on those in a little while. But it's one of those that they like more acid soils. So if it's free, why not try? So what you do is you go out there and you take some little plugs, and what they want to say is a representative sample. So that means not just one dish of soil. We actually have probes here in the office. It's nothing more than a tube that's got a sharper end, and you go down anywhere from 4 to 6 inches, and you put it in a clean bucket, and you mix all this stuff up, and then there we got a little box, and you put it in, and there's a piece of paper you need to fill out, and the numbers on the box need to match the ones on the paper so you can correlate between the two. And lo and behold, in about a week or two, maybe 3, they will be sending you an email, and it will tell you the results. Now, if you don't have an email, that's okay. We can allow that to occur and we can ship it to you. That's not a problem. But please let us know so that we can set it up that way. But just come by the office, pick up the boxes and the piece of paper, bring it back. We'll ship it for you. Don't get that kind of customer service too often. Been proud of what Person County has built up over the years here with the extension office and the county government. So it's a big plus. So when you get your soil test back, it's going to tell you a little bit about what you need to do. And if it's a gardener, well, we try to do it in per 1,000 square feet. So what's 1,000 square feet? Well, you got to step it off reality wise. And, yeah, we're going to be doing some guesstimates. You probably will be doing this by hand, or you may even have a little lawn spreader. I'll go on and say, first year they may be okay, but after that, the accuracy of them, unless you calibrate them, will be going down. What do you mean by calibrate? Well, just find out how much it spreads over a certain period with a certain notch. A lot of these lawn spreaders, you can go from 1 to 10, and you click it, whether it be with a paddle or whether it be with a little rotating dial. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and you measure how much you put out. Now, the best way to do it would be to do it with some sand. And that way your sand is not going to be that bad, and you get an idea how much per acre you're putting out there. Now, or per 1,000 square feet, excuse me. But a lot of us don't quite get there. So what we use traditionally is what the spreader says, as it matches the fertilizer that you buy, and it tells you where to click, and it gives you a rough estimate, and that's probably not too bad. You're not going to be near as accurate as those who have mechanical means, who have consistently pressures to spray out stuff, or a rate of speed that they put out. They'll do a little bit better than what you can do. But you can put that out there, and like I said, then it'll tell you whether you need to put lime down or and how much fertilizer and how much lime. Uh, it was ironic. I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and he's like, "Well, I put down 800 pounds of lime every year." And I'm like, going, "Okay, how big's your yard? It's 3/4 of an acre with grass, maybe a half acre." And then he says, "Well, now that you mention it, they put out a bush that started out blue and ended up being pink." And I'm like, "Well, that's a telltale sign you got a problem." Or I shouldn't say a problem. It's really good for that plant. However, for grass tends to like between pHs of 5.5 and 6.5. When you get up into the sevens, they don't grow as well. Most fescues and the cool season grasses that would traditionally grow around here. So if you take good care of your lawn, sometimes you may take too good a care of it. So hence, take a soil test, know what you got. Then you know whether you need to put some down or not. Usually you don't need to put enough down, but about every 3 years, maybe 4. So don't be in a big hurry to as the old saying goes, sweeten your lawn. Because I saw one guy came in here and he says, "But what does this mean?" And he showed me his soil testers are, and I'm like going, "Well, you're running over 7. So your grass doesn't really like it, and you've maxed out on all your fertilizers. So I'd say you don't really need to put much down this year, and next year all you got to put down is nitrogen to balance it out." It goes back to that water quality thing. If we put too much on there, sort of like that cup of water, you can't just keep pouring. You just make a mess. And that's the problem with a lot of this is that we get a recipe and we tend to try to use it again and again and again. And then you'll notice your yard may start depleting if you haven't recalibrated or measured what you have with a soil test. So that's why Bo's hyper on soil test. Now, and then this, of course, is a good time of the year to seed as long as we got some moisture and you scratch up the surface so that you can get some soil contact with the seed. That's the key on that one. But I got to tell you about a program we had week before last, on the 29th. It was really neat. Gary Cross, who now has moved on, former crops agent here in the county, put together a tour with Native American corns. And he had like 200 different varieties of corn. And we took a look at them. Plus, we did a little cultural diversity training. And we brought in somebody who knew how to cook Native American dishes. And she did a fabulous job talking about it. And we had another gentleman that came in and talked about some of the trading routes that the Native Americans had. And a lot of times people don't, we're all sort of Europeanized, but corn came out of Central America. It was bred down there. It was in lots of different types. And we start talking about some of our genetic diversity. Native American folks did it long before others, because when we looked at the varieties, there were some that were 2 feet tall, maybe 3, a little bit over knee high. And then you had some that were 12 feet tall. And this was done long, long ago, before the plant breeders and stuff got into this. They were breeding this with the Native Americans were breeding it for different areas of the country. And it was amazing the science that they had to use to do this. And then they started talking about the foods that they prepared with it and how I did not realize that grits came out of this mix. It was pretty neat. I thought it was just Southern dish. But no, it came from the Central America and came up. And the different tribes and how they moved from one side of the country to the other. And not just when our presidents told them, said, no, you got to go. There was some diversity within the tribes. They fought amongst themselves every now and then. Normal people. So that was really neat that they talked about all those different cultural changes. And we had some other folks that came in and they talked about the very, very locals that were here. And we generated some interest, and we may be doing this next year. So keep an eye out for it. If when we hire the new agent, hopefully we can talk them into planting some Native American corns, and we'll have another field day, and we'll do something similar. And hopefully we can share some of that culture with everybody, because it is diversity at its best. In that we got to remember we're the immigrant, or I'm an immigrant that came in here because I have my roots in Europe and United Kingdom. So we got a lot of different things that have shaped the United States, and we need to honor all of those. So keep an eye out for it. We'll be doing that a little bit later. And this has been Bo Freeman with the Cooperative Extension Service here in Person County. And we will be returning to you, and we'll be talking about some events that will be coming off tomorrow. So we'll talk to you in just a little bit.
The leaves are falling. It's October 2021. Fall season is in full spring with warmer days and cooler nights. It's still time to plant your turnip seeds and kale, mustard, collards, and broccoli. More importantly, it's time to sow the yard and do fall planting. There is no better time of the year to reseed and to feed your lawn. T.G. Brooks Company has plenty of advice and plenty of supplies too. Enrich your yard with nutrients such as lime, fertilizer, grass seed, including the new Top Choice Turf Grass Seed for greener and plusher lawns. Many people have been to T.G. Brooks Company and picked up or had delivered beautiful mulch, including some of the triple ground mulch, and they have mulch in several colors. It's also time to do some raking and stay ahead of the leaves. Get your lawn rakes and your tools to do the work. No matter if you are the individual homeowner or you are the professional landscaper, T.G. Brooks gives the same courteous attention to everybody. Fall and this time of the year is also the time to check over your stovepipe needs and fitting needs. Also have your replacement parts for your Taylor wood stoves, like blowers, anode rods, rust inhibitor chemicals, and pumps. Next month, we'll be celebrating Thanksgiving. After that, remember T.G. Brooks for exciting Christmas gifts, which will be coming in sooner than you can imagine. Keep in mind, T.G. Brooks will have your Thanksgiving and Christmas delicious country hams. Hey, plan to do your shopping list, from cast iron cookware to case pocket knives, from your grocery needs, from plumbing supplies to electrical supplies. They have it and have plenty of advice, especially for lawn and garden. T.G. Brooks Company, thanking you for your business and looking forward to serving you. Phone 364-2428.
Thanks, Rob. And we're back now with the Cooperative Extension here from North Carolina State, Person County. And this afternoon, Miss Jennifer is going to be talking to us a little bit about some of the things that will be going on this weekend here in Person County. So Jennifer, if you'll take it over, please.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to share a couple of flyers for some upcoming events that we have this weekend that the Extension Office will be participating in. This is some of our partnering collaborative agencies that we work with. We're all going to be there together. So the first one is the Person Family Medical and Dental Center is hosting their annual Cancer Awareness and Family Fun Day event. It will be this Saturday, tomorrow, October 9th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Hug Sandsbury Park. So in addition to the Extension Office, going to have a booth there along with some of our Extension Master Food volunteers. There's going to be a lot of other things. There's going to be a lot of other community booths as well, but they're going to have food and music and bounce houses and bingo and all kinds of fun for everyone. They do have a schedule of events throughout the day. So they'll be doing, karaoke or magic show at certain times. But one of the big things about this event, again, every year is to promote cancer awareness. Whether you know someone who has breast cancer, colon cancer, or you yourself are a survivor. So they're going to have some speakers there right around lunchtime from 12:30 to 1:30 to talk about, being a survivor, to talk about some of the organizations locally that have helped them. This county has always been a big supporter of our Relay for Life event and the American Cancer Society. So we always want to make sure we are getting information out to the public. So the extension booth that will be there will predominantly have information on food and nutrition to help prevent chronic illnesses such as heart disease and diabetes, as well as certain types of cancers. So hopefully you can come out and visit the extension booth along with all of the other booths that'll be there providing information to the community. And when you get done with that particular festival, then we're going to go ahead.
Let's talk about this one.
Okay.
Once again, this one touches a personal note in that my brothers and sisters have both had cancer. And it's a very personal thing that needs to be, they need somebody to talk to. It's just not, oh, you went to the doc, you got chemo, it's long term. And the mental health component of this is almost as important as the physical part of this. So this is going to, I think, is going to be able to give you some of those resources, those people that they may want to talk to, or you may want to talk to, just to see, is this normal? Am I supposed to be feeling this and not feel like such a dummy asking a doctor?
Oh yeah, definitely. There is actually a cancer support group in the community. So I'm sure that they'll have a booth there. And we've had guest speakers from, the hospital, or even people in the community have come and been guest speakers at our lunch and learns talking about colon cancer or even ovarian cancer. And at one of our events, we had that. We had a woman who had just been recently diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And so it was very timely, and she got to have that support talking to someone who's been through it for many, many years, and kind of understanding that there is an other side of it, and letting them know about so many different resources and organizations, whether it be locally or, in this state or in this area, that can help support them, even access to caregivers if it's of a loved one or an elderly parent, to help with things like that. So it should be a good event to get that information for anyone.
Yeah, because a lot of people just think, oh, it's just about the doctors. No, this is about the community and how you gather around the cancer and the cancer survivors and those components. So that's why I really like what we're doing here in Person County, and that we are a part of it. Thank you so much. So what's our next event?
Well, I'll have some Extension Master food volunteers at this Family Fun Day, and I myself will be at a different event at Lowe's Hardware. So we're going to be having that. It is Fire Prevention Safety Week, the first week of October, and it's in honor and recognition of the Great Chicago Fire of the 1800s. I don't remember the exact year, 1871 or something. Ever since then, the first week of October, they've tried to talk about fire safety and promote that. So every year, the fire departments get together with Lowe's Hardware or Home Improvement and host a fire prevention day the first Saturday or first or second Saturday of October. And it's going to be tomorrow, again, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can go back and forth to both of the festivals, and we'll have a booth there. The information that I'm going to be handing out at this one is more about, fire safety, food safety, disaster preparedness, and that kind of stuff. But they always have all of the different fire trucks out in the parking lot. So you can come and get to meet the volunteers from the different fire departments all across the county. And the kids can climb on the fire trucks or whatever. They'll have a couple of things they can do there. They always usually have a live fire demo and let the kids practice, putting out fires. They typically will even have some fire alarms to give out. And then there's always just fun stuff as well, whether it's food and dancing and music. I believe the Person County Health Department is actually going to be at this event as well, who we partner with very closely. They're going to be giving out car seats or car seat boosters as well to a certain number. I don't know if it's the first time any ever come there. So there's going to be a lot of good boosts there as well.
So is Mrs. O'Leary going to show up?
I'm not sure.
Because she's the one
I
that
know the
started.
forestry department will be out there as well. So you'll see the big Smoky, the big inflatable Smoky should be there as well.
She started all this, her cow. At least that's one of the many folklores of what's going on. But yeah, this looks wonderful. And so once again, Lowe's parking lot on tomorrow from 10 till 2. And be there early if you want to think about trying to get more about car seats and those components. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, Person County is very lucky that we always have a lot of community events and festivals, and there's a lot of ways of getting information. Just recently, we had Personality that had a lot of booths out there as well. So, but I really like some of these specific events. This one's just on fire safety, and the other one's on the cancer awareness. So you can get specific information to help you. And it's always fun as a parent taking my children to these events too, and letting them get to meet the fire department volunteers, the firefighters, because oftentimes one of the concerns with the fire department is when there's a fire, the children get scared and they go and they hide when their house is on fire. And they need to understand that this person's here to save you. Don't hide from this person. If your house is, on fire, you need to, stop, drop, and roll kind of thing. But you also you and your family need to practice a fire safety escape, have an escape plan. I was at a workshop recently where they were talking about a mom who recently passed away in a house fire because her boys were at home, I believe, and the house got on fire, and they did what they were supposed to do. And they got out of the house, and I don't know where they went, if they went to a neighbor's house or whatever. She drives home and sees the house on fire. She doesn't know they're out, and she goes into the house, and she did not make it back out. So making sure that you're checking your smoke alarms as well, changing the batteries frequently. They'll have a lot of information at this event about that and about the importance of it. Some fire departments have in the past helped maybe, elderly citizens or whatever install new smoke alarms. So just asking and if those things are available, if you need assistance, there's a lot of people in this county that are willing to help with different things like that.
Oh yeah, a very good friend of mine was sleeping on Thanksgiving Day. He'd had his lovely meal and everybody in the house left, and he was watching football through his eyes, and he was snoozing on the couch, and all of a sudden the smoke detector went off. And he ran out of the house as it fell in behind him. So smoke alarm, but I'm a firm believer in it. Smoke alarms are very important.
And since mainly what I do is teaching about food and nutrition, I'm going to have information too about kitchen fires. And if you're grilling, we have a lot of fires around Thanksgiving, which is coming up soon because people are not cooking safely. Or we've had an instance too where we're really, in Person County, we're known for getting, storms and snow. If it's going to hit around the north central part of the North Carolina, it's going to hit us, and we lose power often during that. And just even remembering something as simple as if you're in your home and you lose power and you're like in the middle of cooking, make sure you remember to go and actually flip the oven switch off and turn off, because if you don't, when the power does come back on, all of that's going to come back on, even the stove. And I know somebody whose sister had that happen this past January when they lost power, and it burned her house down because she had gone and stayed somewhere else for a couple of days. And when it came back, she hadn't turned everything off.
Oh, no.
So,
Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh, well, it looks like we've sort of made this wonderful section of time stretch by, and it's time for Rob to be talking to y'all again so that we can work with you some more. And we want to thank everybody for listening, and thank Jennifer for coming out and being a part of the program today. And once again, tomorrow, she's going to be running around everywhere. So we want to thank Jennifer for all that she does here in the office in Person County. So thank you all very much. And we will go to commercial. Thank you.
Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers is located 613 Lewis Street in Oxford. Open for business weekdays 8 to 5, Saturdays 9 till 1. Call 1-800-221-9267 or 919-693-4626. Al, Hillary, and Will, there to serve you with all of your golf car needs. They have Club Car, Easy Go, and Yamaha units. If you're wanting a gasoline or an electric golf car, they have them at Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers. Trojan batteries, parts, and repair service. Thinking about a new grill? Check out the Wilmington Grills at Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers. Speaking of trailers, they have utility, dump, enclosed, stock, and equipment trailers. That's Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers in Oxford, 919-693-4626, toll free 1-800-221-9267. Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers.
Good afternoon. This is Bo Freeman with North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Today we're going to wrap up our program talking about youth development, 4-H, where we're going to hang our hat one of these days with what we do with these young people. Well, one of the things that we've got going on right now is Galactica Quest. And this is a program that is designed for 8 to 14-year-olds. And to participate in this, it's going to be on October the 18th from 9 until 12 here at the Extension office at our county building. Now, registration for this thing's a little bit tough. You got to go on 4-H online, and literally you type in 4-H online. And we're Person County, but you got to put in your name, your address, all that good stuff. And then you pick this option. And now that you have registered, and if you have a little hard time doing this, you may want to call our office. And the number here is 336-599-1195. And call here and ask those questions about youth development to try to get on this. Once again, we've done this STEM and once again challenge for a number of years. And it's been different subject matters, but once again, 4-H has been in STEM for a century. Lots of people don't think about it, but when we talk about research and proven methodology on a majority of the things that we talk about, we're investing in STEM. So please, if you've got some youngsters or you want to join in, go on 4-H online, register, and you can be part of the Galactic Quest Challenge, STEM Challenge, excuse me. Now, this is the concluding the National 4-H Club Week. It's a wonderful week where we celebrate 4-H and we look at what we've done in the past as well as what we're doing in the future, hence the STEM. So we got a lot of things going on. We've got some this past week, we had some turkeys at the state fair. We've got some chickens on Saturday. However, because of COVID regulations, we can't invite anybody to come watch. We're going to limit the number of people that come in, just simply trying to keep people safe, as well as the birds. So those are some things that we have going on. And then also we've got the 4-H Clover. And everybody goes, the paper clover. What are you talking about? Well, if you ever go into Tractor Supply this time of year, and they started it on Wednesday, you can buy clovers, and they're paper clovers. And the money, some of the money comes back to the county. And this is one of our bigger fundraisers. Tractor Supply partners with the 4-H program nationally. So hence, it's been going on for 20 plus years. And it's a great partnership. And hopefully the person at the register will say, would you like to buy some more clovers? And it's lucky. Come on, it's Friday. And so buy some more clovers, support our local 4-H. We got lots of stuff that we utilize it for. One of the big ones, though, is 4-H camp. And we had a very small camp this past year. In fact, the whole camp wasn't real big. And so whenever you have a camp that's not utilized and to maximize, it runs into some problems. So the price happens to go up. So we give out scholarships and partial scholarships to the kids, and these dollars help fund that. So when the big chunk of change comes in at about $500 for a week, it's a chunk of change. So we need your help. So if you need to go buy the Tractor Supply and just buy some clovers, that'd be wonderful. Or if you want to support them, that's okay too. But we're not saying you got to get a clover. So come on out, help us out with our 4-H and our campaign to raise a few more dollars for the 4-H club program. And once again, 4-H, for those of you who are diehard 4-H people, we're going to be doing club registration in January. So we'll need to make sure you update all that wonderful paperwork and get those kids registered so we can move forward with our programming in that area as well. Some of the other things that we've got going on, we're preparing for what we want to call a Farm City Day. And lots of times, as I've just finished a report for the county, we don't realize how valuable agriculture is. And as I've been involved with the planning department on one of their long-term planning plans, it came out that agriculture is always in the background. And lots of people don't realize that. But ag was the reason why most people came here. And it's still a major part of why people are here. Flute-cured tobacco is huge. We have lots of people that work within that industry, as well as food and add value, and then maybe even serving it. So we've got a nice supply chain of our own. And we've done a real good job after COVID, and I support the local farmers markets. We have 2 of them here in the county, and they've done exceptional. They've brought farmers in from our county, and we've got a following. It's a lot of people that come out and support. And once again, it's another way to get some more dollars for farmers. And it doesn't have to be a big farm. A lot of this, in fact, I talked to one person last year, their kid, he's raising money, college money. And this child was all 8 years old. So it teaches work ethic if you want to go that direction. It teaches customer satisfaction if you want to go that way. So it can be a component of a youth program, teaching life skills. And then the other component is on the other side of the table is you're buying local, you're supporting local, you're helping the local people here. And it's a multiplier effect. It's the dollars aren't going somewhere else or even maybe out of the country. They're staying here locally. And it's neat that we can do that and move forward with that. And we've got lots of people that go to the farmers market. We've got one of the, and I'm not going to pick one over the other because they both have their strengths within the farming community. But one's over on Depot Street and behind Uptown, just down the hill from Uptown. And then the other one is off Madison Boulevard. Both have once again, have a lot of people, have some good vendors. Better hurry up if you're going to utilize the farmers markets because they're not going to be around much longer as far as the crops are beginning to go by the wayside. That was one thing about the Native American corns. We got out there and the deer had a little bit of the Native American corns. And I think somebody even said they saw bear track. And there were also raccoons and this type of things. So we got a lot of things going on in this county. And that's one other thing I want to talk about just real quick. We've got a lot of charitable organizations here that do really good work. See if you can help them. Go help somebody. With COVID and all the other things that have occurred, it'd be good for your mental health. As I talked about earlier with the cancer survivors, lots of people don't feel that mental health is too important, but it's very important. So please think about that side of the fence and that feel good. It's always good to feel good about what you do and don't get caught up in the little piddly things that don't get in the way of life. They're just little obstacles. Don't focus on them. Focus on the big picture. I never will forget one time when I was doing a fair on my own, and there were basically there were 1.5 page staff for this fair, and it was a pretty tremendous, a lot of pressure on me and the other staff member that I had, and it was one of those weeks that you just got beat up because you're the organizer, you're the referee, you're, and I was feeling a little down at lunch. One little 4-H came up to me and said, "Mr. Freeman," as he pulled on my shirt. I went down on one knee and wanted to listen to him, looked him in the eye, and he said, "Mr. Freeman, I want to thank you. This is the best thing that ever happened in my life." You want to talk about a new perspective on life? I got up and that's been that way since. I love helping people, and he reminded me of that. So I challenge you to go help people. It does wonders for your mental health, as well as today's Friday. And so you can go out and have a lovely day. And also, don't forget State Fair, October 14th to the 24th. And if you're going to get some discounted tickets, my suggestion is you better buy them before the fair starts. As I looked at their website, all the little discounts stop on the 14th. So look into so you can buy your tickets, whether you're just want to look at it or go to the tractor pull or want to go with the rides. All of them have discounts before the fair starts, as well as they don't want to touch you. I'm sorry, but they don't. So remember, State Fair, North Carolina State Fair, Raleigh State Fair Fairgrounds, October 14th to the 24th. Lots of different avenues to go and watch and be a part of the great adventure, the New York State Fair. And I hope you all had a wonderful day, and thank you all for listening. This has been Bo Freeman with North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service, and you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.